Hello everyone, welcome to the episode of Whiteboard series. In this episode, I'm going to explain how to stay happy and what is the secret of happiness. So, as we all know, the patented structure of universe, Project Kali structure of universe. The thing is, I didn't rub the whiteboard from the last time. Because last time I drew these three realms, that is physical, astral, causal realm, and I didn't rub it because I'm using the same diagram for every episode. Why to draw it again and again, right? So here is our physical realm in the middle, then the astral realm in the second layer, and third layer is the causal realm. So beyond the causal realm, there is Sadashiva. So Sadashiva is our true self, that is our pure state of consciousness, which doesn't have any duality. But when it enters Maya, so this causal realm is the womb of Tripura Sundari. So when Sadashiva enters the Maya, he creates dualities. Dualities means 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. So all our thoughts, right? Like let's say while waking up in the morning, first we brush our teeth. So there are two thoughts: should I brush the teeth, should I not brush the teeth? So that is a duality. Similarly, there is brush, there is no brush. This is white, this is black. So everything in the universe has duality in it. When we wake up, there is a possibility that we can sleep again. So there are so many possibilities, so many dualities that can occur in our consciousness, and that is what Leela is. The whole Maya is made up of dualities. Without dualities, there is nothing. So if the 0-1 is not generated, then we stay in the Sadashiva. But since every time we wake up in the morning, we create desires, we create dualities, we are able to see this beautiful world, the colorful world. If there were no dualities, the whole world would be black in color. Whole world would be pitch black. No dreams, no thoughts, no dualities. But since we have the habit of creating thoughts, creating dualities, creating Leela, these worlds get created. So three layers of dreams get created. So causal dream is the most subtlest dream. So in the causal dream, we have our Anandamaya Kosha. So Anandamaya Kosha is the blissful body, and inside the causal dream, there is the astral dream. So in astral dream, there is Manomaya Kosha and Vijnanamaya Kosha. So Manomaya Kosha is emotion and Vijnanamaya Kosha is intellect. And inside the Manomaya Vijnanamaya, we have the physical dream. So in the physical dream, there is our Annamaya Kosha and Pranamaya Kosha. So Annamaya Kosha is the body of food and the Pranamaya Kosha is the body of air. So to feel our Vijnanamaya, Manomaya, what we can do is we can meditate, we can question ourselves, this is question the reality, question the dream. So that time our Vijnanamaya Kosha gets activated. Whenever we think through emotions, our Manomaya Kosha gets activated. When we go more deeper in meditation, when we feel that bliss, right, that time our Anandamaya Kosha gets activated. So the whole secret of happiness is meditation or sadhana. So how to activate our blissful body, the Anandamaya Kosha? To activate this body, right, first of all you have to know that our default state is Anandamaya Kosha. That is, in the Sadashiva, we don't have any body. That is, there is no dream, there is no body, there is no you, there is no me, there is no ego. That I, right, I is not there in the Sadashiva. It is pure void. But when it enters the Leela of Tripura Sundari, what happens is, in the womb of Tripura Sundari, there are a lot of Vishnus, Garbhodakshaya Vishnus. So these Garbhodakshaya Vishnus represent Sat Chit Ananda. So they are also called as Satchidananda Vishnus. So the Vishnus, if you see, right, if you see photo of Vishnu, he is always happy. He is like blissful, he's holding his hands, giving Ashirvad, telling to surrender, and also he is holding his tools, that is Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, for protecting his devotees. So that is how he is. He is completely selfless and he does whatever if you surrender to him. If you surrender to him, he will give you the ultimate bliss. So it is his own Maya, that is inside the womb of Tripura Sundari. The Garbhodakshaya Vishnu creates 14 lokas, and those 14 lokas belong to his own dream. So inside his own dream, if you surrender to him, if you surrender to Vishnu or Narayana, what happens is, he will take you out of the dream. If you tell him, oh Narayana, it is your own dream, please remove me from this dream, that time what he will do is, he will remove your consciousness from the dream. So there are total of 14 dreams he created, that is Bhur, Bhuva, Swaha, Maha, Jana, Tapa, Satya, then Atal, Vital, Sutal, Talatal, Mahatal, Rasatal, Patal, Naraka. So there are 14 dreams he created, each dream representing the level of consciousness, that is the righteousness in the consciousness. If the righteousness is more, then you will be born in the higher planets. If the righteousness is less, you will be born in the lower planets. So basically what I mean by righteousness is dharma. So dharma meaning your ability to be selfless. That is, there are total 3 gunas. One is Rajas guna, the egoistic nature, Tamas guna, the addictive nature, and Sattva guna, that is the selfless nature. So if you are selfless, then you'll be born in the subtle planets like Bhuva, Swaha, Maha, Jana, Tapa, Sati. And if you are egoistic, addictive, like indulged in attachments, then you'll be born in the lower planets like Bhurloka, Atal, Vital, Sutal, Talatal, Mahatal, Rasatal, Patal. And if you are very guilty about yourself, you'll be born in Naraka for suffering your own sins. So if you think you deserve suffering, then you'll be born in Naraka. So that is how this dream works. Wherever you find your purpose, you'll be born there. Since you found that there are some desires related to earth, you were born in the Bhurloka, that is the earthly solar system, which consists of Navagrahas, that is Jupiter, Saturn, then Rahu, Ketu, Mercury, Venus, Sun, Moon. So in this Navagraha system, you were born in the Bhurloka. If you had subtle desires, you would have been born in the subtle planets like Bhuva, Swaha, Maha. And if you have more desires, like more indulgence, then you'll be born in the lower planets like Atal, Vital. By lower and higher, I don't mean physically lower and higher. By lower and higher, I mean lower and higher in the righteousness level. So that is how we are born in different planets, different solar systems. And what you have to know is our default state, right? Default state is blissful. Our default state is Anandamaya. Our default state is Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. When descending, we become Dakshirodakshaya Vishnus, and we become born in the different planets which have more gross body like Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya. Because of our logical thinking, we get our Vijnanamaya Kosha. Because of our emotions like sadness, happiness, roller coaster emotions, we get born in the astral planets. Then because of more desires, more indulgences, we get born in the physical planets because of the Annamaya Kosha and Pranamaya Kosha desires. Basically the lower three chakra desires, that is the Mooladhara chakra, desire for food and sleep, then Swadhisthana chakra, desire for sex, and Manipura chakra, desire for money, fame, power. Because of these lower chakra desires, we'll be born in the physical planets, that is the womb of Tripura Bhairavi. And because of the desire for love and desire to communicate, desire for knowledge, that is logical thinking, and desire to think, we get born in the astral planets, that is the womb of Kali. And if we don't have any of the lower chakra desires, if you have only the Sahasrara chakra, that is pure desire to exist and no more desires, then we'll be born in the causal planets like Vaikuntha Loka and Tapoloka also. Tapoloka, that is the Loka of Saptarishis. So we'll be born in the causal realm, the womb of Tripura Sundari. So what I mean by happiness is here, the different solar systems, right? Different solar systems have different levels of happiness. For example, the Bhurloka have the lower three chakra desire happiness. For example, when we eat food, so when we eat food, we get a small dose of happiness. So whatever it is, you can call it small dose of dopamine or serotonin or oxytocin, whatever you want to call, you can call that. So small dose of happiness. When you eat food, get good sleep, small dose of happiness. And after you finish eating food, that happiness goes away. For few hours you will not feel the desire for food, few hours you will not feel the desire for sleep. So your Mooladhara chakra happiness is complete for about 4 to 5 hours. Then again it gets rejuvenated. Then again you eat food, again you sleep. So again that cycle continues. So the Mooladhara chakra desire cycle, desire and desireless cycle continues. So that is how you get small doses of happiness through Mooladhara chakra. So that is in the physical realm. And similarly, even in the activity of sex, right? So after you finish having sex or after you finish doing the sexual activity, masturbation or whatever, you get a small dose of happiness. So after that, you don't have that desire for few hours, maybe 6, 7, 8 hours, then again you get that desire. So similarly, even in the Manipura chakra, the desire for money, fame, power, let's say you get 100k subscribers or 1 million subscribers, 1 million views in Instagram, YouTube, or that is you become famous, you get awarded Nobel Prize, or you get a lot of money, that is like $1 million, $1 billion money, and also you are able to satisfy your ego, that is, if you become the world wrestling champion like Undertaker, Batista or whatever, you feel powerful, right? That is Manipura chakra. So the Manipura chakra gets small dose of happiness, and that dose will last for maybe 1, 2 days, 3 days, then it will go away. So similarly, every chakra, right, has its own doses of happiness. You can call it anything. You can call it dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, whatever it is. You get that happiness in the brain, and that lasts for more hours depending on the chakra you are in. Mooladhara chakra desire, the happiness lasts for a shorter period. Swadhisthana also shorter period. When it comes to Manipura, it will become more longer. So as you go in the upper chakra, the duration of the bliss becomes longer. And similarly, in the astral realm, right, we have that Anahata chakra and Vishuddha chakra. So that is the desire for love and desire to communicate, desire for knowledge. So when that gets satisfied, your upper chakra gets orgasm. That lasts for more longer. For example, now let's say you are a scientist and you are doing some research on some huge project and you get the solution of the result. That is, you crack the code, you derive some derivation, you get the answers, you become the new scientist of the whole era. The whole human era, you become the top scientist because you have cracked some universal knowledge, and you get a big dose of dopamine, that is in the Vishuddha chakra. Similarly, when you fall in love with your girlfriend, the time when you go on dates, when you spend a lot of time with your girlfriend or wife or husband, whoever it is, or a dog also, you can spend time with dog also, you get large dose of dopamine or happiness in the Anahata. So that lasts for more longer because it has every chemical in it, that is oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin, all the chemicals gets released together in Anahata and it lasts longer. So the Vishuddha and Anahata orgasms last for very long. It may be like 1 month, 2 months, it will last and it will not make you depressed. So basically we are behind happiness, all of us, right? We are behind happiness. It may be towards food, towards sex, towards money, fame, power, towards love, towards knowledge, towards communication. So whatever it is, you are going behind it. That is, you are going behind happiness. All of us. There is no escape. That is, when whoever enters the Leela, whoever enters Maya, we are going behind happiness. And even the selfless love, right? For example, let's say you donate some items to a beggar and the beggar becomes very happy. That also creates some kind of Anahata orgasm. So you may tell it is a selfless act. However, you are getting an orgasm in Anahata because you feel good while helping others. So everything, whatever you do throughout your life is basically for your own orgasms, own chakra orgasms. That is happiness, small doses of happiness. And thinking, for example, let's say you are a jnana yogi, that is, you are always questioning the reality. That is, who am I? What is this universe? And all that, right? You get answers. Let's say in Advaita school of thought or Dvaita school of thought, you're questioning yourself, you're questioning God, you're questioning who are the deities, who am I, and all that, and you get answers. That time you get a small dose of dopamine or serotonin or whatever. You get that small dose of happiness. What we can conclude is everything, right? Whatever we do throughout life, we get small doses of happiness. When it is Muladhara chakra, it's a smaller dose. Swadhisthana a little bit bigger. Manipura more bigger. Anahata more bigger. And Vishuddha chakra still more bigger. Ajna chakra still more bigger. Sahasrara chakra, when Sahasrara chakra gets orgasm, you go back to Sadashiva. That is, when your Anandamaya Kosha gets activated, you go back to Sadashiva. So what I mean by that is, all your logical questions, right, whatever you have, it may be regarding spirituality or anything related to science. So whatever doubts you have in the physical realm, astral realm, whatever, all are invalid because at the end of the day, you want satisfaction, you want happiness. So however intellectual you are, you may have intellect IQ more than Einstein, like 10 times more than Einstein, and you are questioning the reality. Finally, you get an answer. That answer itself creates happiness, creates blissfulness. So what we can conclude is everything leads to happiness. Everything leads to an orgasm in different chakras. So when that is the conclusion, that everything whatever you do throughout life finally leads to happiness, then that means that there is no use of thinking only. There is no use of the logical mind. Because ultimately, the logical mind tries to find an answer and becomes happy. So what it means is, the Vijnanamaya Kosha, however intellectual you are, however smart you are, finally it leads to Anandamaya Kosha. Even the Annamaya Kosha, it gets food and tries to reach the Anandamaya. The Pranamaya also breathes air and tries to reach the Anandamaya. And the Manomaya also, the emotion, it tries to fall in love and tries to reach the Anandamaya. Vijnanamaya also, the body of intellect, it tries to logically think and tries to go to the Anandamaya. So all the bodies, right, all the koshas that we have, the lower kosha, it is always trying to reach the Anandamaya kosha, and it is getting Anandamaya. That is, the Anandamaya, it is reaching. So the Anandamaya Kosha, it is trying to reach, but it's not staying there for long. It drops back. It tries, drops back, tries, drops back, tries, drops back. Basically, when you enter the Maya, you are trying to find dualities such that you stay in the Maya. That if I tell you that your default state is happy, your default state is Anandamaya, then you will not agree. You will try to find some reason for not being happy and staying in the same realm. For example, now recently I went through an accident. So, if I was the previous Aditya, I would be very sad. I would think that, oh no, I went through an accident, now I have to wait for the wounds to heal. So, I would think like that and I would become sad. So, I would find some other reason also. Let's say, I didn't get job, or I'm poor, or I don't have a girlfriend, or something like that. I would find some reason to be not happy. So basically, what is going on is, whenever you enter the Leela, right, you are trying to find a reason to stay in the respective realm. So if you're in the Burloka, you're ensuring that you will find reasons to be on that same level of happiness. You're ensuring that you are staying in the lower chakra orgasms. That is, you are not depending on the higher orgasm, the Sahasrara orgasm. Because if you depend on the Sahasrara orgasm, then you wouldn't be in the Burloka. So you are depending upon your lower chakra orgasms. That is the desire for food, sex, money, fame, power, sleep, and all that. So you are ensuring that your lower chakra is being satisfied. You are always resorting to the Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha level of happiness. You are not trying to go beyond that. Because if you try to go beyond that, you wouldn't be here. You would be in some other realm, other planet. So, if I tell you that there is no reason to be unhappy, you wouldn't agree. You would find some reason to be unhappy. So that is what the conclusion. That is, you are happy actually. That is, you are very happy. You are very, 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 very happy. There is no reason to be unhappy basically, because everything is a dream. All the physical, astral, causal, everything is a dream. And you are very safe sleeping inside the womb of Tripura Sundari, the mother goddess, the Adi Shakti. You are sleeping inside her womb and you are the Vishnu. You are the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu himself, dreaming in the cosmic ocean, Kshira Sagar. And you have no reason to be unhappy. You are Shiva himself, who went inside the womb of Tripura Sundari. So you have no worries actually. That is, you are so safe. You are so safe. There is no need to worry because you are immortal. You don't have death. You don't have birth. You are deathless, birthless being. Your consciousness is completely immortal if it wants to. It need not have any thoughts. It need not have any dualities. It can stay in the most peaceful state. Yet you create some duality. Yet you create some reason to stay in the Maya. So that is the conclusion. You are finding reasons, you are finding dualities inside the mind to be unhappy, to be dissatisfied. And that is the reason you are here. That dissatisfaction, right, is the reason you are here. If you really want to be happy, you just have to surrender to Lord Narayana. Narayana is you only basically, the higher self of you, which is sleeping in the cosmic ocean. You have to surrender to that higher self, which has gone beyond the space-time of the physical astral. You have to tell, oh Narayana, please remove me away from this Maya, remove me from this physical astral realm. So what he will do is he will remove you from all the dreams. He will remove you from all the dreams. And the interesting part is, the character, right, the Aditya character will continue on its own. Your character, if your name is Ramesh, Suresh, whoever you are, your character will continue on its own. Because the character belongs to the Maya. It doesn't belong to your consciousness. Your consciousness is beyond space-time. The character is not beyond space-time. The Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya is not beyond space-time. For that bodies to exist, the space-time must exist. So the body will continue on its own inside the Leela. However, your consciousness can go beyond the Leela. You just have to surrender to Lord Narayana and tell him that, please remove me from all your dreams, all the 14 lokas. I just want to go back to my original form. It is Sadashiva. So you will become him when you meditate. You will become Lord Narayana. You will become Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And finally, you can go to the Sadashiva Shakti. So don't try to reason everything. So if you try to reason everything, then you are going back to your Vijnanamaya Kosha. That is the astral plane. Because whatever questions, right? If I answer, for example, you have the best question in the world, like Einstein level question you have, or maybe beyond that, like you have the most sophisticated, complicated question in the whole world, and if you ask that question, you will be given Nobel Prize, let's say. And let's say some enlightened being like Sadhguru or whoever it is, right? Vivekananda, Yogananda answers that question for you, answers that most logical, most sophisticated question is answered. So what happens? When that sophisticated question is answered, you will get a small dose of happiness. So what was the use of the question? Like at the end of the day, you just got happiness. So what it means is Vijnanamaya Kosha can go to shit. Because ultimately, every kosha leads to happiness. All your logical mind, logical thinking, science, everything fails in front of the Anandamaya Kosha, in front of Sat Chit Ananda, in front of Lord Narayana. Everything fails. Because everything leads to him, right? I want you to digest this information very deeply. Whatever you do in life leads to happiness, and that is why you are doing it. Some activities lead to smaller doses of happiness, some activities lead to larger doses of happiness. For example, the Annamaya Kosha, eating food, led to this much level of happiness. Whereas if you breathe air, breathe fresh air, see nature, your Pranamaya Kosha gets happiness. And let's say you fall in love, you are enjoying time with your loved ones, your Manomaya Kosha gets happiness. And you get the most logical answer for your most sophisticated question, your Vijnanamaya Kosha gets happiness. And finally, when you realize that all koshas lead to happiness only, then that means I can be happy without any kosha. So that time it leads to Anandamaya Kosha happiness. So when you realize this truth, that every activity is leading to happiness and you are going behind those activities, that time you will realize that you need not do anything. That is, your consciousness need not do anything. It can stay happy. It can stay Sat Chit Ananda. So that time your consciousness detaches from the character, detaches from Aditya, Suresh, Ramesh, or whoever you are, and it goes to the causal realm. When it goes to the causal realm, it will become Narayana himself. You become the deity himself, and you are sleeping in the cosmic ocean and finally resolving your last karma, that is of creating this universe. Then finally you dissolve back to your Sadashiva state. Then you will get end credits created by Shiva, Vishnu, Tripura Sundari, Kali, Baglamukhi, produced by Dhumavati. So all those end credits you will get. So that is the conclusion. So all these are the back-end developers. The deities are there, right? They are the back-end developers. And this is the front end of the story. So front end of the Leela is the physical realm. So this is the front end. And there is a lot of things going on in the back end by the deities. That is the Bijaksharas, Yantras, all those things. So I'll be talking about the science of Bijakshara in the next video. And in this video, this is the conclusion. So stay happy. Don't find reasons to be unhappy because your default state is Anandamaya. So never let dualities come in your mind. Be happy, stay blissful, realize the truth and go outside the Maya. Thanks for watching and we'll meet in the next video. Jai Mahakal.